Hey guys, how you doing? This is Coach D. Darrell Spears. I know I usually do my dating coaching content out in places like this, but today I decided I just wanted to talk about something on mental health a little bit today. I just wanted to kind of, talk about some things about people venturing off into YouTube who have mental illness and that they're using social media as an answer to they're finding answers about whatever stressors that they have going on, whatever mental illness that they're dealing with, what other psychosocial problems that they're experiencing. And many of these people that I see online have some type of issue, a lot, not everybody, but that drew them to YouTube. And when I first came into green to YouTube, I just thought it was people being characters, playing personas, not necessarily taking this shit that serious. And so the more and more I would listen, the more and more I would understand that there's a large percentage of people who have mental illness and know it. And they have those that have mental illness and don't know it, or they have some type of diagnosis or some type of extreme issues. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was kind of hesitant when I first came into doing content in 2017, and I saw how things evolved in 2016, because I really didn't really start watching YouTube till the summer of 2014, and then I watched a little bit again in 15. Then I used to basically watch YouTube to pass time while my son was playing Little League football, and that's how I got into this. And so I started hearing more and more people talk about mental illness, what they're dealing with. I've seen a lot of people who are widowed. I've seen a lot of people who lost a family member, people dealing with depression, anxiety, a lot of people having all kinds of issues. Then I started hearing people talking about mental illness, particularly narcissistic personality disorder, a lot. And a lot of people, they had a lot of problems. And so I watched it with curiosity because I wanted to see, basically what I see in my practice or in my company, my facility, versus what is being exhibited on social media. Then I started seeing more articles in certain psychology websites that talked about people self-diagnosing and things like that. And so I decided to do mental health, pro-black type mental health, or black African-American related content, particularly about our community. And I'm glad I did that. Now, what I didn't realize is how time consuming this shit was. And it kind of made it difficult for me to do as much content as I wanted to. I only did like about 70, 75 videos the first year because it was so damn time consuming. I bought a software to edit and all that stuff, and it was just so time consuming. I started using my phone, so time consuming, and that really what hindered me from doing more content. So I have heard countless stories of people who are experiencing certain things. And, they came to YouTube to see what other people dealing with the same thing were saying. How did they deal with it? What's the outcomes? What behaviors did they exhibit? And so YouTube became a deterrent from seeing a therapist or another mental health provider. That sums it all up. There's so many people who refuse And some of them are getting treatment, or they're not getting treatment consistently. But most, I'm gonna say at least 70%, refuse to see a therapist, see a psychiatrist, see a social worker, see a psychologist. They refuse it. And they prefer to repress things that should not be repressed, and to put on facades when it's obvious they have a mental illness and it's obvious that they need help. And look, I'm gonna be honest, and I like to say I'm gonna be honest, there's nothing wrong with seeking therapy, and so I thought my channel would provide psychoeducation to make people more comfortable to get therapy. And there were people who were. Then there are those who not. Now, once I began to go live, and I started doing the D. Durrell stuff and the Godfather stuff and the Conscious Clientele stuff, my content, as a content creator, I realized if I wanted to get more views, I had to step out of the counseling therapist role and just be a content creator that just happened to be a therapist. But the thing about it, if you don't like me, you try to weaponize it against me. And that's what I experienced. And I've had people who have contacted me offline to get therapy and things like that. I've had a couple of few clients that receive therapy from me. It works. And so I'm at the point now where I split the channel up so that I can just strictly talk about mental health issues on this channel. And I'm glad I did that. I should have done that at the beginning. So with that being said, I'm stating that social media can be used correctly in a way for you to gain information from reputable, credentialed professionals about mental illness. If you want to hear content from content creators who have a mental health past, I would encourage you to merely use that as a way of bonding with those who have the same issues, and a sense to relate to others, to give you a sense of camaraderie with others who are battling with similar issues. And that can encourage you to continue to cope and fight and live some form of normalcy with a mental illness. Not as a cure, not as that content creator who's non-credentialed, to be a means of guiding you through coping, because the way their illness presents may not be the same. Y'all have two separate journeys. And so many times people think because somebody has narcissistic personality disorder, which very few people do, and although everybody thinks somebody is narcissist, they think that because they can learn from somebody. No, you don't. No, you can't. You can, but their journey and the way their symptoms present can be quite different for you. And I want to caution you on that, because it's not the same. It's not the same. Now I've been disparaged many times for correcting people on the proper uses of diagnoses, the proper uses of certain psychological terms, and how to evaluate research that talks about certain mental illnesses and different ills that are occurring within the Black community, and how it has affected the psyche of African people in America. And I cannot make people agree with me. And to me, so often people base your legitimacy on being right based on if they like you or not. So if you like me, everything's good. If you don't like me, you're not a real therapist. Okay. And so, not that I give a damn what somebody thinks, because I know that I am, and I make money every day as a therapist. I don't need you to tell me. I don't need YouTube to legitimize me as a professional. I was a professional before I was on YouTube. I'm gonna be a professional after. And so my continuation of managing, being a content creator and a therapist, has slightly affected me as a professional. There are people who have contacted my board, tried to get my license taken away from me. There are people who tried to prevent me from getting a credential and certifications. There are people who tried to get contracts taken away, even though they were unsuccessful, outside of taking me off of a website. You know, there are people who have tried to do all kinds of things. And I'm like, is it even worth it? And so I have evolved in a sense where I'm not going to be online arguing, yelling, and cursing at people. And I know I have vowed to do that several times and didn't, but I'm at a point now where I have no energy for that. On this channel, strictly mental health, my other channels, I talk about certain topics. I'm not going to be going on panels yelling and screaming at people. And I'm not going to fumble my bag. And I have a very big bag. And, you know, I get no gratification for harming other people's life. I'm more concerned about improving and enriching mine. But my practice is great. The services that I provide are great. I'm doing well at all my locations. I've ventured off into retail. And I continue to like to do the content that I'm doing on this channel. So I just wanted to talk to you all a little bit about me and where I'm at on this channel, because I'm not going to consistently, I'll just be honest, on this D-Derail Life Solutions, you're not going to see a plethora of content consistently every week. You're going to see me doing content maybe once a week or a few videos a week on some type of issue, some type of mental health issue, particularly if it pertains to the black community. Period. And so I have too many channels I created. I have 4 too many. I really only need 2, but that's where I'm at. So I'm getting ready to get out of here, get ready to close up the practice and head out for the day. Appreciate you all for listening. This is D. Darrell Spears, your black YouTube therapist. Have a great day.